Hi, 10-minute book talkers. Katherine Reay here. I'm with my co-hosts, Rachel Linden and Marie Bostwick. And we have a special treat for you today. We're going to chat about some of our favorite books that we've written that have kind of love story angles this week for Valentine's Day. A few are on sale as well, so we're definitely going to shout that out too, because who doesn't want a love story at a discounted price? So Marie, take us away.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm not sure this one is on sale or not. This was one of my very early books, and people may or may not know it. It's called On Wings of the Morning. It is World War II historical fiction, but it really is essentially a love story. And I just adore this story. And it is, you will learn a lot. So it is about two pilots during World War II, a male pilot, and there's also a female pilot, and she was a member of the WASP, which was the Women's Air Service Pilots. I wrote about this. I don't think people much knew about them. I learned so much. They were fascinating. I got to really dig deep in the history, but it's also just a great love story in a fascinating setting and a fascinating time. I highly recommend it. And a lot of people don't know that I wrote this book. So On Wings of the Morning, that's one of mine. And then another one, and Rach, will you help me out with this one? So guess what? Guess what? My 2 years ago book, The Restoration of Celia Fairchild, which, it's got all kinds of love in it. It's got the love of family and friends. And it's got the love of dogs. It's got the love of Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, which who doesn't love that? And of course, our friend Celia may in fact find a little bit of love, but she's really about restoring her life. So there's all kinds of good love going on this. And here's what I love about this book. This month, the ebook version of this is on sale for $1.99.
That's great.
You can't even get a Starbucks small for $1.99.
You can't get a convenience store hot dog for $1.99.
No, you can't.
Seriously. Although
You
know what? You can get a Costco hot dog for $1.99. So
Really?
actually one. But it's not going to be as good as this book, and it's not going to stick with you the way this book will. So
that book
go
is
get
those
two books. Okay, so Rachel, tell us about your love stories that you love that you've written.
Okay, all right. So I always have a theme of love and romance, and they're always family connections and finding your sense of place and strong women facing big challenges. So there are two that I noticed are about half price right now. They're between the $8 and $9 range, and so I feel like that is not as good as $1.99.
That's lovely.
But for the paper version, that's a good deal.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's paperbacks. So paperbacks on Amazon right now. This is the first book I ever wrote, Ascension of Lark, set on San Juan Island, about a photographer who is in love with her best friend's husband, and he dies in a kayaking accident, and she goes home to care for her best friend and their 3 young kids. She and the best friend and the husband were all college best friends, and he chose the best friend over her. And it's about her finding her sense of place. There's a mysterious man in the woods. There's island magic, and it's really about who we love and the places we call home. So Ascension of Lark, very atmospheric. And then this one is also at a great price right now. I think it's like $8.50 on Amazon. The Enlightenment of Bees has a great love story in it. And it's about a woman who has her whole life planned out until it all falls apart in a day. And she goes on a round the world trip, a humanitarian trip, to find her new sweet spot in life. It has baking, it has Seattle, it has Mumbai, it has a refugee camp on the border of Hungary. It has a really hunky urban farmer named Kai. And I really enjoyed writing him. And it's quite autobiographical. So this is a really good one if you are wanting a good around the world trip, something about baking, something about finding your purpose in life, and if you want a sweet love story. Oh, and there's a grandmother love story, which is based on my own grandma Sally's geriatric Cinderella story. So I love, there's a great love story that is for an older generation. So second.
Yay, I love that.
Catherine, what do you have for us?
All right, so I'm going to go with the Printed Letter Bookshop, which is a love story. It's a love story about books and bookshops, but also there are 3 women who come together, and 3 unlikely women, one in her 30s, one in her 40s, one in her 50s. So they have different world experiences. There are different romantic relationship places in their lives. And so each has a love story. So that's very wonderful. But also just the way their friendship forms is really fun and lovely. And again, as Rachel was saying, you know, strong women doing things, figuring out life, making mistakes. There's a lot of mishaps and mayhems, misadventures and misunderstandings in this bookstore. But it really all does come together. But I want to mention one more. No, this one
but
is
it's
not
totally
on sale. But I'm mentioning it because they are standalone books. But the weekend this ends, this story begins. And the funny thing is, one of my favorite characters I've ever written is Janet in the Printed Letter Bookshop. But I could not get Janet's daughter to warm up to her, and I couldn't figure out why. And so I decided to find out why. And that's of Literature and Lattes. It is her daughter Alyssa's story. And there is a romance. Alyssa meets a wonderful man named Jeremy, and they have some bumps, but they figure it out. But it's also a love story between Janet and her daughter Alyssa finding each other again. So it's a bookstore that, not a bookstore, it's a book that goes between sort of a bookstore and a coffee shop and just the small town of Winsome that I got to create, which is so much fun. And for the whole month of February, it's on sale. The ebook is only $2.99. So you might be able to get your Costco hot dog and a small Pepsi, maybe.
But still,
this delightful book.
$2.99. So there you go.
That's right. You definitely can't get a coffee at Starbucks, even like the drip coffee.
Not even for $2.99.
No.
So
no.
Awesome.
Everybody, those are a few. Oh, go ahead, Rachel.
Oh, well, I think we have time to ask what's bringing each of us joy today.
Oh.
It's Valentine's Day weekend.
Oh, I have something.
Okay, good.
You guys know about this. Yesterday, I went to this zoo thing.
Yeah.
And I got to feed a giraffe. It cost me $8 to buy 10 cents worth of romaine lettuce so I could feed. Like, that's way more than you could buy 4 e-copies of my book. Like, but that was the best $8 I've spent. I was in love with this giraffe. It wasn't a lasting relationship, I have to say. The second the romaine was gone, the giraffe just dumped me for the next person. But still,
You could buy
unrequited love.
Giraffe, or buy 4 copies of this, or 1 copy of either of these.
right?
I mean, the giraffe, the giraffe, that's a pretty hard deal.
It brought me a lot of joy.
Catherine, what's bringing you joy today?
So I just got back from a research trip, which was absolutely amazing. And that did bring me joy. But I have to tell you, Marie just reminded me, I walked in my door and we have a little English Cocker Spaniel named Dash. Dash ran up and leapt at me. I felt so loved.
Oh.
I mean, I was like, so there you go. That
You didn't even have romaine in your hands.
I had
So,
no
I mean, that
romaine
was
in my
fun.
hands. It was just me. And it was just one of those moments where I'm loved. So there you go.
All right. Well, the thing that's bringing me joy is I have had the mother of all colds this week. It has laid me out and I am feeling better today, and it is sunny. And I'm going to go take a little walk with my husband in the fresh air, which I have not been out all week. So that is what is bringing me joy.
Fantastic.
I still have a super low voice and I'm very hoarse, but I'm on the mend. And the thought of just going out in the sunshine and fresh air with the man I love is bringing me joy.
That's
all right. Well, we hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day week. And remember, you can pick up all of these excellent books for a reduced price. And we feel like that is a pretty sweet Valentine's Day special.
And we'll list them too, maybe in the comments.
Oh, that's a good idea. We'll list them.
We will.
Yes. Anyway, and we hope that you join us next week for more book talk fun. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.